Welcome to another episode of the Headlight Restoration Pro, where I'll be showing you the best kept secret of headlight restoration, aftercare. Now let's get down to business. This is my own personal vehicle. The headlights here, believe it or not, were done mid-March 2019, which is about 3 years and 8 months, give or take, and they still look like this. Why? How can you do this? You could achieve this with any kind of clear coat. This particular clear coat is the one that I always show in the videos, the meguiars headlight coating that says lasts 1 year. There's many reasons why they say this. I'll go into depth about that, but obviously this is much further than 1 year. And look how clear this is. This is my vehicle. And let me show you what I've done and what I subscribe to my customers to keep their headlight restoration and headlights lasting a very long time. This video will be containing a lot of excerpts from this video of mine called Why Do Headlights Go Bad? Check it out for sure.
Produces UV lights which bombard your headlights all day. Good condition lights, whether new or restored, have a protective coating which act kind of like sunglasses. This coating provides protection which ricochets, reflects, blocks, and bounces off the UV light. Direct impact. This happens when you exceed 40 miles an hour on the freeway or highway. Microscopic particles and granulates directly impact your headlight at high speeds, acting like a slow sandblast over time. Number 1 and number 2 lay the way for oxidation. UV damage is none other than radiation damage. The surface of the light begins to overheat. This, in combination with direct impact, starts to degrade the headlight surface. It becomes inefficient, in some cases non-existent. UV light is radiation. Radiation is heat, which causes burning, melting, cooking, and a bunch of other kind of damages to your headlights. There are 3 different major types of solar UV lights. Some of these UV lights are more harmful than others, but a majority of them are blocked by the ozone layer. What's left over is here to burn our headlights and other things. Those same UVs are the reason why you can burn things with a magnifying glass, or when you step outside in the sun for too long, you get sunburn. A proper, well-working UV coating reflects a lot of visible and non-visible UV light. Most of the light that we see is at a rainbow spectrum, which is the visible spectrum of light, which is also why we see colors and rainbows. The other spectrum of light is a little bit more harsher than those in most cases. Those are the ones you can...
Okay, once again, that was an excerpt from my video on Why Do Headlights Go Bad? Very informative video, must watch. But anyways, back to this. These are the products I'm going to be showing you, my main go-to products I would suggest for these. Okay, so you're going to need an ultra premium microfiber towel. You're going to need a microfiber applicator. This is one of my go-tos. I use this wax actually on my own vehicle. It's very good. It's fairly new. They're bringing back the carnauba with new technology put into it. This here is the butter wet wax and also has carnauba. I'll explain about the carnauba in a minute. And what we have here is headlight restoration by chemical guys. You see that? UV blockers. Okay, I'm going to show you how that stuff is really meant to be used, although they don't promote it in this way. That's my glass cleaner, okay? Check this out. This is marine and vehicle, okay, but primarily marine. It's a UV cream wax, okay? UV protectant. Anything that says UV in it, it's going to be a wax, but it's going to be, extra on the UV. This one as well, too. This is banana cream wax. Okay, everything's listed in the bio, but this is a UV wax. This is more extreme stuff there on the right. The first thing you want to do is make sure the headlight's clean. You could do this in a couple different ways. Okay, number 1, you got to wash your vehicle, or primarily wash the headlights, but washing the vehicle is a good maintenance thing to throw in there every once in a while. Preferably a touchless car wash, and I will be explaining that to you in a little bit. Touchless car wash is better for your headlights, or hand car wash. Check it out. Regular car wash helps in general, and you also just want to make sure that you're doing this to make sure it's really nice and clean for the next steps. Which brings me to number 3, and if you're feeling crazy like I did today, you can do all 3. But normally I don't do all 3. Normally I just wash the car, and right away I'm doing that as well. Or when I'm waxing the car, which is recommended for your car, at least once a year or once every other year, I'm actually waxing the headlights as well with whatever I'm waxing the vehicle with. But if you don't feel like doing all that stuff and you just want to go out there and clean them up and apply some protection, this works as well. You can just spray them down, get a good firm wipe down. And on your headlights, you should always use, and I say on your car as well, a ultra soft or premium microfiber towel. Cuts back on scratches. Have to use these things anyways because my car is black. I can rub my finger across it and scratches will come. They're superficial and they'll come out through waxing or buffing, but it is a black car. It's the hardest car to upkeep far as color. But you want to make sure you don't feel any embedded grime or debris locked in here. And you want to just clean it before you get going. This stuff right here, banana cream wax, is amazing. It is an actual UV wax. It has nanotechnology as well as UV additives in it. This is things that repel sunlight. Same with this one here. It has nanotechnology in it and particles that reflect and block sunlight. That's why they are pretty much called UV waxes. These are big bottles here. This bottle will last you the life of your vehicle. These two bigger bottles here, the banana cream wax and the marine UV wax, are the more extreme versions of how to do this. These ones will last an excess of 6 months or longer, but you're not going to wait 6 months. You're going to recommendedly do this about every 2 to 4 months. Anywhere in between there would be good. You don't have to apply this heavy duty stuff every single month. I mean, technically, it wouldn't hurt it. You just want to give it some time to go ahead and work its natural course and dissipate a little bit. All waxes or ceramic coats or whatever it is dissipate over time through weather and different climates and different things make them wear thin. So you kind of want to give it a break with these heavier duty ones. They don't need as much. On the surface or the front of this UV wax, it says create a high gloss finish, provides up to 6 months of UV protection applied by hand or machine. So those are just the basic things that you could benefit from. And it goes on smooth. It dries in a couple of seconds and you just buff off with hand. Plain and easy, simple. And you could stop at this point, but you know us, we're gonna do a little bit more. And these products that I'm using are all safe for the headlight, and I do recommend either one of them. They do not haze up the headlight. They do not cause any extra stuff. Now, the first two ones are the big bottles. Those are the big bottles because I actually sell aftercare kits to my customers with instructions and whatnot. Take a look at these instructions here. Well, these are the actual kits here, and this is what they look like. They come with everything you need, and these are the actual instructions here. Pretty much what I'm telling you in a nutshell. But anyhow, after you go ahead and apply it, you wipe it down and buff it off real good with hand. There's no need to do anything crazy like that. You don't even have to tape off. You're not really using a machine that's going to do anything. You're not using a sandpaper. If anything, you're just going to add a little bit more protection to your paint around the light, which is an added bonus in any case scenario. And then what you want to do, if you want to get crazy with it, is you want to add something that's a little bit lighter. I normally don't support this product, just as a disclaimer from how they brand it or how they associate it with usage. This is the primary use of it because it has a UV inhibitors in it, and it's you can actually see it when you're polishing. There's a rainbow tint. Once you see that rainbow tint, that is UV lights reflecting. When you actually see a rainbow in the sky, your eye is registering UV lights, or a certain spectrum of UV lights. Each one of those color is a different spectrum of UV light that your eye is registering. Okay, so you can see it in this product when you use it. It has a good UV protective method in it, and this to me is its primary function. You can use it as well, which I've experimented with, for the part where you're polishing a light. In my methods, when you're polishing the light, after you've sanded it down or all that stuff and used the P500 instead of the 3M, you can also use this. It's pretty good. It has a lot of UV inhibitors in it. I've experimented quite a bit with it, but to me does not work quite well as a headlight restorer. Like I said, you can't just polish lights and restore them. It doesn't work that way. It does work as a headlight protector for vehicles that do not need headlight restoration and vehicles that have had headlight restoration. It will help you from needing headlight restoration in the future if you apply this, say every car wash, every other car wash, once a month. It will help. So it's more of a headlight preventer. They almost should change it, I think. I always say, but I mean, it is a good product for that. The other stuff, I don't, no, not at all. But this stuff here, to prevent headlight degradation and to block and protect from UV and to keep your headlights going and keep your headlight restoration going, it is a good top coat. You know, it's not something that's going to stay on this headlight for, you know, more than 30 days, but it will help. Okay, on to the other side. Do you hear that roughness? For some reason, this side has a little bit embedded debris, so I'm going to show you a more advanced method to get this started. Same thing here. We're going to hit it with the Windex, or better yet, glass cleaner. It's not Windex. It's more industrial Windex. You can see it in the bio. Everything I use is listed in the bio, even down to these towels right here, the premium Costco towels, which, if you know Costco, they usually have top-of-the-line stuff. But anyhow, these are real nice ones. I love these ones. But anyhow, wipe it off as much as I can. You know, it's still there. I can still feel a little bit. Some of it came off. But the more extreme method that you can use if you have the tools, and a regular drill would work on this point too, but you would need a medium soft pad like this orange finessed pad, which is like ideal for headlights. And I'm not going to use this one here. Okay, I'm going to try this one here. This is the butter wet wax. Okay, this is a carnauba wax, or better yet, a carnauba base wax from Chemical Guys. It's pretty good, gives a nice wet look, and I'm going to explain to you why a lot of these products contain carnauba that I'm showing you now, and why carnauba car wax works so well with dark cars, and also light see-through material like this. The carnauba car wax repels water and consequently most contaminants. When applied to the surface, carnauba retains these characteristics. Therefore, an application of carnauba-based car wax to your vehicle will protect it from UV rays, heat, moisture, oxidation, and environmental contamination. Well, there you have it. It makes an ideal environment for these headlights. It works well on any car, but I find it working because I do other things, wax, polish, buff, and I always experiment with different stuff and different products to get different outcomes, and I do a lot of research. That was from Google, of course. And even though you're using this, as long as you're not trying to go crazy and, rub it too much, or actually trying to damage your light, or you're just unskilled with this device or a power drill, you don't have to worry about it. At most, this is car wax. You are just protecting the surrounding areas of your car. And this is very similar to how you would wax a vehicle. But anyhow, you don't have to worry about damage. You can tape off if you feel, if you want to be more comfortable with it. But you're really not touching the outer limits of the headlight much, or the headlight meets the car. But anyways, carnauba is a natural wax. It was really popular back in the day, and now it's coming back because they've refined it and had new ways, and you're going to be finding a lot of products with carnauba in it in the future. It's much more potent than the stuff they used to use back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But anyhow, this also has carnauba in it as well. Right there on the front, it says superior durability and UV protection. You want to go with anything that says UV protection because it's going to be a better bet for what you're trying to do. Let me read a little bit of this to you. AFTERCARE Banana Cream Wax is a fast and easy way to provide a deep gloss along with long-lasting environmental and UV protection to automobile, marine, and industrial finishes. The unique formula combines nano-sized polishing agents and waxes. We'll go back into that in a minute. Functional silicones and dual function UV absorbents into one formula for superior protection and ease of use. And this is why you want to find these products that say UV protection on them. This product or either one of these products could be used on a vehicle or a vessel, whether it's an RV, a car, or a boat. Either one of these can be. When you're dealing with a boat, they need a heavy amount of UV protection because they're on the water and the light is reflecting, and they're getting it from the sun, and the light is reflecting from the water. And if you ever notice, if you've ever been out on a boat, you sunburn way easier because the UV environment is way more potent out on the water. So this is why these things, one of them is a marine UV cream, but it can be used for vehicles as well. These are more extreme. These are the ones you want to use your base coat at. You don't necessarily have to, but these are the ones that are going to last on these headlights for 6 months, 7 months, even longer. In some cases, if you're not a daily driver, it's just in your car, in your garage, it's going to last longer than that. This is saying 6 months. These things say 6 months on them because they're equating in the usage of somebody who's heavily using their vehicle. Okay, so they're gauging it at that. So it's a lowball number, but these will last a long time. These other things like this gold class meguiar with carnauba. There you go. Carnauba Plus. I'm really feeling this carnauba lately. The technology is a lot greater now, so they're trying to put it in everything, and you're going to see a lot of things are going to have carnauba this, carnauba that. It's just refined technology now, old technology made new and better. So this is a top coat. I always try to put a top coat on. It enhances, and then the top coat, both of these add protection, but the top coat is a little extra protection, and also these are more of the everyday waxes, so their specific function is protection and clarity, so it just adds a little extra sheen to it or whatnot, and a little extra UV to it. But it's just like a wax. You just wipe on. It's a paste wax. You wipe on and you just let sit for a couple of minutes. As you see there, it's pretty much dry. This car was just driven all day pretty much, and the headlights are a little bit warm, so the stuff's drying on there fast. With that in mind, do not do this in sun. Okay, you will regret it if you do this in sun. Somehow, it'll be hard to take off, or you might have some other issues going on. But do not do this in sunlight. The other light I did was a little bit in the sunlight, but that's not direct sunlight. Like it was a tree was blocking the sun mostly, so that's okay, but you don't want to do it in direct. But you want to make sure you get there on top on those little creases in there. You want to get it all out of there, and just buff it to a shine, get it all off, and then this is what you have. It makes your headlights actually look even better than what they are. And once again, this headlight was last done 3 years ago and 8 months. 3 years, 8 months plus, and some change. Amazing. And this is how you keep your headlights from going bad once you do headlight restoration. And or if you have a new car that doesn't need headlight restoration, or a car that doesn't need headlight restoration, you can do these methods and you won't need it. You might not need it for the life of the vehicle. This is a really kept secret, or better yet, an unknown secret. A lot of people don't know it. If you don't know it, Google it. Ask Google, and Google will tell you waxing your headlights is what you need to be doing. Believe it or not, it's a thing. And a lot of people don't know it. But anyways, this stuff here, that side is the lighter stuff, and the other side is the heavy stuff. If I was just going to do a light, somebody who wanted a easier way of doing it, I would use those two, the Chemical Guys Headlight Restoration and the Meguiars. Or you can combine these any ways you want, but once again, these two big ones here are the heavy duty ones. Those are the ones, if you really want to get down, those are the ones you'll use, and you can combine it with the top coat, which would be my recommendation. See, these ones say UV protectant. All wax is UV protectant, but these ones actually have UV protection added into them, so they're going to be superior than other stuff. A lot superior. They say on the labels last for 6 months and all this stuff for a reason, because it's been tested. But check that out. Gorgeous. And this is with a Meguiar's coating that says 1 year last. 1 year last. But like I tell everybody, that's only a disclaimer. That is for the nastiest, most unkept vehicle or hard driven vehicle that drives cross country for 5 times a year, or has 75,000 miles in 1 year vehicles, like extreme situations. But check this out here. Remember I said the UV index, the rainbows? Can you see the rainbow pattern in there? That is fully activated, fully recharged UV protection on top of that headlight, included with the double layer of the hardcore stuff and the light layer, and also the UV protection that's still inside of the headlight spray, which in this case is the Meguiar's. That is all that combined. That's what you want to see in a UV product. You see that rainbow? Those are those UV lights I was talking about, bouncing off, hitting your eyeball, and your eyeball's registering.
Poor vehicle hygiene can have drastic effects on your headlights and the longevity of your headlights or headlight restoration, besides being just gross. Let me touch bases on the two main ways this is. When not washing your vehicle regularly, you can develop large amounts of dust, dirt, and other debris sitting on top of your headlight surface. These debris not only dry out your headlight and create a harsh environment for your headlight, they also are chock full of minerals that can boost the UV light, which increases the heat, but just the actual dirt being on there increases the heat of the headlight as well, primarily on the surface region. Prolonged exposure to this kind of environment leads to brittleness and possibly cracking. Also, vastly premature headlight UV coating fail, and peeling and or bubbling. By not washing your car regularly, you're missing out on the benefits of washing your vehicle as far as your vehicle goes and headlights go. Most modern day car wash products have a small amount of wax inside of it, which wax your vehicle, aka waxes your headlight. These wax particles add an extra layer of protection that can last up to 3 weeks or more. So by continuing washing your vehicle regularly, you're adding that protection to your headlights, not only your vehicle. By not washing your vehicle regularly, you are missing out on these benefits, besides just removing those debris, which is a bonus in itself. Drive-through car washes. When you're driving through non-touchless car washes, they have foam rotators that rotate and clean the sides, fronts, and back and top of your vehicle. Not all these parts are equal. The front of your vehicle gets bombarded a little bit heavier than all the rest of the areas, primarily the front sides, where 99% vehicles' headlights are located. Even if the car wash is using scratchless foam pads, that is all dependent on how well they keep up their pads and who's washed your car before yours, which is usually dozens if not hundreds. Those pads get soaked with granulates and particles from the other vehicles that washed their vehicles before yours, scraping into your headlight coating and headlight and even more. Slowly over time, eventually diminishing your headlight coating until they start to look something like this. See those striations there and the absence of any kind of clear coat, and it's actually digging into the actual material of the headlight, the plastic. This is from years of drive-through car washing, and without that UV protectant there, the sun will just eat that plastic up. Which brings me to my final, but one of the most important, the importance of aftercare. Most people and even professionals do not know this exists. I always offer aftercare tips and also aftercare kits if wanted. Aftercare is highly recommended. and can double, if not triple or quadruple, the life expectancy of your headlight restoration and or your normal headlight that has not been restored yet. The main purpose of aftercare is to condition the surface of the UV coating and add extra layer of protection. The way you do this is adding a layer of wax 3 to 4 times a year, particularly a UV wax, heavily endowed UV wax, which all waxes have UV protectant in it, but some are heavily endowed in UV wax. You rub it in just like you're waxing a vehicle, let dry, and then remove. This conditions your headlight surface and adds protection once again, and literally will triple, quadruple, or even more the life expectancy of your headlight restoration. Just a quick Google search of does wax help headlights? Google says waxing your headlights is important as waxing the exterior paint of your car. This can be applied to the lens treatment to add an extra layer of protection. Wax keeps debris from sticking to the surface of the plastic. And in plastic, they're referring to your UV coating.